Hi, everyone, and welcome to Artificial Entertainment. And guess what? It's our 10th episode.
Yeah.
Oh my! Well, technically our 11th because we had that episode 0, patient 0.
We've hit double digits, and we thought it was time to bring on a guest. And since it's a Disney episode, Mason had this great idea. Yeah. Mason, tell us who you brought on.
So I was gonna bring on. Jeff Goldblum impressions for later. I was gonna bring on Walt Disney himself, Uncle Walt.
Uncle Walt.
I found him in
we found his frozen head.
Yes.
And we've decided to bring him on the show.
Yeah, we did. We
Mace,
did.
where you said you were in charge of bringing the head. Where is it?
No, he left it in the kitchen at the studio, and I've been defrosting him all day.
No, he's good. He's good to go. He's good. He's a good talker. I went out to get him a pack of smokes.
Oh no, that's what killed him the first time.
And I came back and he was gone. I don't know. I've been looking.
Mason, you lost the severed head of Walt Disney.
The talking head of Walt Disney. So, he'll cough eventually. I think.
Are you sure Tom Hanks with a mustache wasn't decapitated and you got confused?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
We gotta find him. If we're gonna have this
all right,
episode.
We'll find him. All right,
Walt,
Yanny.
here, boy.
Yanny, take
Walt.
the south
Here,
end.
Walt,
Go.
I got some smokes for you. Come here, boy. You want them? I got some nice menthols.
Okay,
Walty.
all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to play the theme song and try and figure this out. It's time. The time is upon us, gentlemen.
What time is that?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Artificial Entertainment. I'm your host, Josh Lakaitis. With me are my two co-hosts, Mason Betterly and Tyler Yaney.
Hello, little hobbits.
Hello again, friend.
And, well, last episode, we had a Yaney episode.
Hooray! Ratings hit.
And now, we have...
It's a Mason episode, and
God.
we're doing something I have wanted to do.
Boy, hide the women and children.
Yeah,
And the
and
dog.
we're doing something I've wanted to do since we started this show, and that is, for one episode and one episode only, talk about the ill-fated movies of the early 2000s based on Disney attractions. Now, of course, we all know Pirates of the Caribbean was pretty successful. The first one is the movie that made me want to make movies. All the rest makes me want to cry. So...
Oh, the third one's my favorite.
All right, well, we're not here to talk about your bad decisions here. So, what we did is we actually all watched one of those movies that we haven't watched before. What did you watch, Yaney?
I watched The Haunted Mansion starring Eddie Murphy.
You certainly did. You certainly did. What did you watch, Lakaitis?
I watched The Tower of Terror starring Steve Guttenberg.
And I watched The Country Bears starring Christopher Walken. And
wow.
Yeah,
and Haley Joel Osment.
And Haley Joel Osment. And that's pretty much it.
There's actually a lot of big names in The Country Bears.
I thought Elton John was in the movie.
We'll get into that. And we're going to talk about all these movies shortly. And we got some shout outs to make. However, before we do that, let's talk about those Oscars, boys.
I was so bored.
They were a lot of small golden men.
Yeah.
They sure were.
How many did you guys get right? Do you know? Did you keep counting?
I lost count halfway through, so
I got 13 right.
Oh, golf clap.
Yeah, thank you.
Good for Mace. Then that golf clap.
You really did a thing.
You did a thing.
I guessed
you guessed those billionaires awarding other billionaires. Millionaires and billionaires.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty boring, all things considered. I heard that it was
boring.
I heard that it was the least
like
watched.
the world we live in.
Yeah, I heard it was the least watched Oscars yet. Do we know if that's true?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, I'm not fact searching that, but For me, the show was boring, but I was really content with like the movies that were in it. Like I was happy with whatever won. Like this, I think is the best. I almost said Olympics, the best Oscars since 2014.
Like, go that far.
How so?
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's the best because like no matter what won, I was really going to be satisfied. Like that it earned it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we had that in 2014, and there everything in
except
between.
Except for Boyhood, we didn't have a Boyhood this year. Thank God.
No, actually, no. My favorite part of the Oscars was the like the 90 years of history and them playing all the movie clips and everything. Like
that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's like Ready Player One, except it was short because it was like, I remember these things. That.
I'm sure we're gonna roast Ready Player One in an episode.
I'm ready because it's taken down. Like two of the things I absolutely adore more than any other movie are on the poster, and it makes me angry.
I'm really happy that Get Out got Best Director.
Get Out. I didn't get Best Director.
Get Out.
You got Best Screenplay.
Was it Best Screen?
Yeah.
It was Best Original.
Hashtag get your facts straight.
I'm just like, it's so cool to see. I know it's technically a horror film, but it's also a comedy, and just to see a comedy do so well in this field, like we never see comedies at the Oscars,
except for Annie Hall from that Woodsy Allen fella.
But that was like 40 years ago.
I'm so old. I remember
old
that
in spirit.
Oscars.
Yeah, I'm really bummed about Coco getting Best Animated. It's a great film.
Let's talk about that, because that's something we can actually talk about and analyze. Disney and Pixar own the Best Animated Feature category, and I've done my research on this, if I may. Since the category was added in 2001, only 4 non-Disney or Pixar films have won, which is Shrek, Spirited Away, Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit, and Rango.
And 3 of those are some of my favorite animated movies.
Correct, but like only 2 of those are not CGI, and only one of those is foreign. Actually, no. But actually, both of those are foreign because Wallace and Gromit's British. Now that I think about it.
But Rango is literally Johnny Depp playing Don Knotts as a lizard.
The reluctant lizard. I don't want to be a cowboy. I didn't ask for this.
I mean, this year we literally had a film where every frame was hand painted.
Yes, painstakingly. But let's give it to Coco. And full disclosure, I really
the
like
Academy
Coco.
Doesn't take what?
Full disclosure, I really like Coco. So I'm like,
yeah.
So it's not like when Brave won and it was up against all these other much better animated films, and I like Brave.
Yep. It's all right.
Because Coco's a good movie. Actually, one of Pixar's best in a long, long while. So
right. But like, is it Saving Vincent or Loving Vincent? I keep getting the name wrong.
Loving Vincent. Saving
I thought it was
Private Ryan.
Vincent. Okay.
No, Saving Vincent. I think that's a Doctor Who episode. But
actually, you would know.
You would know. Yeah.
The Academy doesn't take the animation category seriously.
No.
They don't really consider them movies. They consider them for kids.
Well, here's the thing that's wacky about that. Like the year the Shaun the Sheep movie got nominated, it was up against like that Charlie Kaufman hard R-rated stop motion one.
Oh,
yep. That's when you know the category's a joke. When you can't have one consistent audience watching all the movies to see which one should be nominated.
So would you change it? Would there be like adult and kid animated categories?
Here's my thing. The Oscars is already a joke because most of them are white people dramas. That's what normally gets nominated for Best Picture, and that's why like something like Shape of Water or Get Out or Birdman, being nominated or winning has given me a little bit more faith. Birdman
was about a white dude though. That was white man.
Yeah, but it was a comedy and a really out there
yeah.
comedy. And it wasn't like based on a historical thing, so it was a more interesting pick. Like where I thought Boyhood was going to win that year because that's the white people drama.
Thank God it didn't.
But Winnie, do you know how long it took to make that movie?
It took 12 years.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. It's not like sitcoms do that all the time with the same cast, including children. Like nobody's like throwing Full House a parade because it took 8 years to make and you can literally watch the Olsen grow up before your eyes. I'm getting
you literally
off
see the
here.
moment they get hooked on drugs.
Yeah, this is getting very off topic.
Mason, it's a Mason episode. Pull us back in, man.
This
episode.
Yates
trying to drag it down, but he
I don't really have any. I don't really have any
back.
strong opinions. I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from with the kind of lack of continuity for this. There's no general vibe that you get from the best animated selection.
No, it's just like animation is not a genre. I don't think it is a way to tell.
It's a medium.
Story.
It's a medium.
Yeah.
Yes, there's adult ones. There's comedies. There's dramas. There's horror.
I think they really should reassess how they view that and what I'm gonna defend. Coco. I think you guys know.
I love Coco. You don't have to.
I watched it again. It's probably my favorite Pixar film now that I'm.
That's an argument for a different time. And
I know.
I mean,
I know.
But literally, loving Vincent is it is craft.
Okay, and it took 12 years, and it took 12 years to make Boyhood. I need to see. I need to see Loving Vincent.
But Boyhood wasn't a good movie.
I don't know.
Loving Vincent is a good movie.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I still need to watch it. I need to watch it.
No, I mean Coco is beautiful, but like, I'm trying to think. Like, it's like The Thief and the Cobbler, kind of, where, like, if you love the medium of animation and what goes into it, like, Loving Vincent could be about nothing, and I'd still love it, but it is about something, and it's about an artist's passion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I saw it at the store. I actually almost bought it the other day. Then I bought Rango for $4, so who won here? I don't know.
I saw it on a friend's desk, and he's like, oh, yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I'm like, well, if you want, I can take it home and open it for you.
Did it work?
Did he buy that?
No, Miller didn't let me have it.
Oh, Miller?
Oh, was it Miller?
Yep.
That seems like a thing he would watch.
Oh, yeah.
He had 3 billboards on his desk today.
You can't fit 3 billboards on Oh, speaking of which, Brennan posted like Muppet versions of like 2017 movies, and there's like 3 Big Birds outside of Ebbing, Missouri. And like, I would watch that.
I'm going to New York to get a job in television.
Good luck.
You want to come with me? No, thanks. We're going to Hollywood.
Well, it's
that was my attempt at Kermit.
Oh no!
Well, moving right along.
Too,
so without further ado, I think it's time we get inside our ride vehicle, keep our hands inside at all times. And I'm doing a shtick.
He's a Disney World fanatic or whatever they call him. Let him have his moment.
All right, keep going.
All right.
On board.
No, it's okay. It's all right. So
wait, Mason, do people like you have a name?
I don't know.
The people that are just really obsessed with the Disney park.
What am I? I don't know.
Wait a minute.
All right. So, what I think we're gonna do here is, I think we're gonna start with you, Lakaitis. You were tasked with watching the Tower of Terror.
We're going in order of release date. Interesting.
I think we are. Yeah, I think we are.
Why don't you tell a little bit of history of the ride before we get into the movie? Because I love the Twilight Zone, and people should know about it. So, actually, a fun thing, and if anyone out there is smarter than I am, so anyone really, I doubt it.
And as you know, if anyone has better information on this, please tweet at us at our interweb space.
I promise you, if we had more fans,
at Artificial Pod,
Artificial Pod, or leave a review. But yeah, so from what I recall here, I'm not too in depth on Tower of Terror lore, but you know, Tower of Terror was opened up originally for MGM, Disney MGM Studios, which is now Disney Hollywood Studios, the third park.
Because MGM isn't a thing anymore.
Essentially. And so it was going to be their one big attraction for early on in the park when they opened up at the end of Hollywood Boulevard. They went through a bunch of initial designs. Originally, actually, it was going to be more of a comedy thing, actually developed by Mel Brooks, oddly enough.
What?
But yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But that was an initial
no.
design. That didn't come to fruition, obviously. And then I'm
A
not
Disney ride designed by Mel Brooks.
Would it
Yeah.
still be one of those falling down rides?
It was going to be a haunted
Yeah, but you slip on a banana peel and fall 11 stories.
It was going to be a haunted
I'm laughing
hotel
already.
still. But I don't really know too much about it. But I saw some initial concept art. It looks pretty cool. But of course, the idea kind of changed over time and turned into a ride based on the Twilight Zone. It's an original story, this Tower of Terror, and it's actually pretty exciting. You go into this old hotel and actually using some really cool, I believe, rotoscoping and such, they're able to make an opening video that you watch, a pre-show, before you get onto the ride, where it's Rod Serling basically telling you the story of the ride. And they have someone dubbing over, and it's really quite cool. And of
So
course,
is it
then
not
you go
Rod
up and down.
Sterling on the ride?
Oh, he was dead.
No, yeah, he was
Okay.
long gone. Actually,
Look,
he died in the 70s.
here's the thing. I've never actually built up the courage to go on the
Are
Tower
you
of
kidding
Terror
me?
when I go to
You-
Disney.
You weenie.
I was a child. Like, I haven't been to Disney in I don't know how long, but
Oh,
still.
yeah.
Anyway,
Exactly.
yeah, so you go out. It was, I believe, the first of its kind, a really interesting machine where the elevator would go up, then be able to go through the building on a track, and then into another elevator shaft where, of course, you go up and down and up and down. And it was, I believe, the first of its kind. So it's a really interesting ride, a rich history. It's made its way to most parks. Of course, it got famously redone, I believe, early last year in Anaheim's Tower of Terror to the Guardians of the Galaxy overlay, probably the beginning of their big Marvel takeover.
How do you feel about that? Because I've never, because as you're a purist of the parks, I feel like this is really stupid. Like Tower of Terror is a staple,
Yes.
and like Guardians is just kind of so.
But
well,
here's
then
the
again,
thing.
you also love Guardians. So
Yeah,
I bet
I
this
love
is perfect for you.
Yeah, it was a perfect crossroads of my interests. I
Gotcha.
think that there are only two Tower of Terrors that should stay the same. Those being the Florida one, because it's the original, and it's set perfectly. There's a reason for it, a purpose for it. There are other rides that you can change in that park. The one thing that ticks me off more than anything is Rock and Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster is a great ride.
I was gonna say,
That thing's
Yeah.
fun, man.
Oh, it's a great ride. I love it, but it has no place on a themed area built to Hollywood in the 1940s. It makes no sense for being there. Tower of Terror makes sense. It's just themed perfectly. It's just one of those evergreen sort of attractions, if you will.
okay.
And
So my question is, with Tower of Terror, the ride, when does Steve Guttenberg come in?
he never does. The film itself was made for the Wonderful World of Disney Sunday night show. That
if I may pick it up from here,
yeah.
Here we
this is
go.
absolutely a made-for-TV movie.
Oh, so yeah. Cool thing though, it is actually
yeah.
really quick. Side note, it was actually
Yeah.
filmed at the park, at the attraction, all the outside shots.
I don't know about that.
Here's my question. Why
Mm-hmm.
make a movie on a ride that's obviously based on an existing property, as opposed to something like Big Thunder Mountain or something?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah, that makes
There
no
are no
sense.
Twilight references at all.
Or
in this
Twilight
movie.
Zone references, for that matter.
Oh,
Edward Cullen never pops up. It's crazy.
I hate that I have to clarify that.
Well, it's just like when Room came out and people kept saying The Room, and they're very different things.
Yeah, no, that's
They
true.
certainly are.
Anyway, this film stars Steve Guttenberg, who plays Buzzy Crocker, and
Buzzy Crocker.
I'm
a heck of
Buzzy
a name.
Crocker.
he was once a great journalist, but he was once fired because he published a story about the mayor taking bribes from the mob. But
Taking bribes?
bribes with a B. He was stealing their women. But it turned out to be fake, so he's a disgraced journalist.
7 brides for 7 buzzies.
The working title of the picture. Then they realized there was a hotel, and they're like, let's just call it Tower and Terror.
Anyway, so now he works as a tabloid photographer, taking photos of like alien invasions that he's faking with his niece, played by Kristen Dunst.
Kirsten.
Who cares? Mary Jane.
Mary
fun.
Jane Watson from the original Spider-Man movies?
Yes.
The very same. She was also in Small Soldiers.
Who else do we have? We have Jan from The Office. She plays one of the ghosts.
Does she?
Is she a spooky
Yeah,
ghost?
what's her name?
Or a sexy ghost?
Melora Hardin. I don't know.
What, did you find her spooky or sexy?
Well, she's trying to talk with like a Jersey, New York accent, but it goes in and out, and like you can't tell.
Hey, you! I'm a ghost.
No, she literally says that in one line. After all, I am a ghost. Ghost.
Do you want to go to a Broadway show?
Oh, now a ghost.
Spooky ghost.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
so
Country
basically,
Bear Hall.
what happens back when this hotel? I think this is when the hotel opened on Halloween in 1939. Which, fun fact, my grandmother's birthday.
Yes, we know.
Coincidence? I think not.
So let's see. I'm trying to get all the names. I'm reading the.
Are you
I'm
reading the Wikipedia?
page.
How dare you bring that?
Did you watch this movie?
I did.
You watched it
okay,
2 hours
so
ago.
An elderly woman named Abigail Gregory comes to visit Buzzy and explains that on Halloween in 1939, she was witness to a bizarre incident in the Hollywood Tower Hotel when 5 hotel guests, singer Carolyn Crossan, who is Jan from The Office, actor Gilbert London, much-loved child star Sally Shine, her nanny, Emmeline Partridge, and bellhop Dewey Todd mysteriously disappeared without a trace when lightning struck the elevator, and they were on their way up to the party of the hotel's Tip Top Club.
Tip Top Club. Is that like a Mile High Club?
I think that's the Disney version of it. So basically, it's like, yeah, it's this old lady who comes to Buzz. He is in, she thinks he really believes in all this stuff that he publishes in the tabloids.
Yeah.
Don't reference the cough. Now I gotta leave it in.
That was Walt. Where is he? Walt!
We're never gonna get through this review.
We're never gonna find him.
So, yeah. So she sends Dewey and Buzz to go because she believes...
It was Woody and Buzz.
She tells them that the nanny of Sally Shrine, who is like the Shirley Temple of the day...
Yeah.
Her nanny was a witch who hated her.
Witches and ghosts?
Yes.
It's Halloween.
So spooky.
So you think if the nanny's really a witch who hates the child she's in charge of, you think the parents would do a better background search and notice that?
It was the 30s.
Nope. Says here on her resume she studied the occult and witchcraft. I don't think she's the one to watch our child.
I don't know. It's Hollywood. What do you know?
So yeah, they all went like missing on their way to this party, and Abigail claims she was there. Abigail's like this super old lady now and trying to get Buzz and his niece Anna to solve the mystery. So they go. By the way, I realized that Steve Guttenberg he's not the poor man's Albert Brooks. He's the broke, penniless man's Albert Brooks.
Who's Albert?
It never ever reminded me of Albert Brooks, like in appearance.
Okay.
I've seen Short Circuit and Police Academy many a times, and I've never thought Albert Brooks.
Not Merlin Albert Brooks, not Simpsons Albert Brooks, Lost in America Albert Brooks.
Have you seen that finally?
Yes, I have.
Is it good?
It's an interesting film. It's an experiment in what if we could make this couple as miserable as possible.
Oh, I have too many family vacations to actually sit through a movie like that. But go on.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Anyway, so yeah, they go to the Hollywood Hotel, and we get these awkward exterior shots of the actual ride, and then nothing around the ground is actually in Disney, clearly. We just get these shots against the sky, and we can see Hollywood Hotel written on the side, but nothing around the exterior is filmed in Disney.
Do you feel
I can promise you that.
Nuh-uh.
So they go in and they discover that there are ghosts. But also to get these photos, because at first Buzz thinks it's just a chance to do another tabloid story. He hires an actress, and it's Jan from The Office. I can't remember her real name. Melora. I don't know how to say this, and I don't want to continue saying it. But as we find out later that she's actually one of the ghosts pretending to be this actress. So they realize the ghosts are real. Abigail tells them yes, because her nanny was a witch and cursed them all. And now they're not dead, but they're gone. And it's weird, like they're in this purgatory.
Like the Twilight Zone.
What?
Exactly. So they're trying to figure out how to release the curse. Or break the curse so they can all go, because the ghosts want to go to the 12th floor and join the party,
which is heaven
or hell.
No, it's still kind of purgatory. It's just nicer purgatory. But we'll get to that.
That's fair.
Yeah, they meet Q, who's the great grandson of the owner of the hotel, and Dewey Todd, who was the bellhop that was lost in the elevator, is his grandfather, or as he puts it, granddude. And Chris Q. Todd is, I think he's supposed to be a... Oh, wow, I had his name up until I had to say it. Not who's the cat in American Tail?
Dom DeLuise.
Dom
That's
DeLuise,
what you remember him from? It's not even in American Tail that much. I guess he's in the sequel.
No, but yeah,
quite a bit.
He's in Fievel Goes West a lot, and that's how I know him, really. I haven't watched Silent Movie or any of his Mel Brooks appearances.
Okay, you should do that.
Yeah. So, in a roundabout way, and what I found was a pretty good twist. The nanny wasn't the witch.
What?
Abigail was the old lady that came to them.
Slow down, sonny boy. That's crazy.
The funny thing is, it takes Buzzy Crocker a bit to, like, he finds out there are ghosts, and he fully believes there are ghosts, and he thinks he can restore his reputation as a credible writer by telling the world that ghosts exist, but he doesn't believe this witch thing actually happened. There's no such thing as magic. Yeah, so they find out Abigail was Sally Shrine's older sister, and Sally Shrine was... I'm saying... Oh, Shine. No, I guess you're right. And I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. She was such a big star, Abigail felt that she was left out and that she did the curse. So now she's back 60 years later to finish the job and kill the ghosts. Get them out of purgatory. Send them to the fiery place, I believe as she phrased it.
The green place.
Yeah, so like
we're going
she's
to the green
like
place of many mothers.
So basically the ghosts need to get to the 12th floor and get to the tip-top party.
So the whole plot...
But the elevator continues to stop at the halfway after the 11th floor. So hold
up. So the whole plot is them just trying to travel up an elevator?
Yes, but the elevator it's broken.
Oh,
this film feels
stairs?
like yeah, they're like on the ground floor.
Then just take the stairs, lazy bums. Are they in wheelchairs?
They have to go up the elevator that they died on.
That's stupid. This movie.
This movie's very stupid. It feels like Disney's The Shining almost. Huh. Or if this had been a better movie,
I think it's a good premise.
You know, honestly, it's a fine made-for-TV Disney movie.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you are a Disney head, if you love Tower of Terror, you could watch this film and enjoy it. Tyler would resent the crap out of it.
I resent everything, silly.
I actually grew up watching this, and I have a soft spot for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see if you grew up with this, you'd have a soft spot for it.
Yeah, it's fun Halloween-y time kind of film.
Okay, so ultimately what happens is the witch, who is Sally's sister, Abigail, puts them. The ghosts start to go up the elevator because this Dom DeLuise type has fixed the elevator so they can go up, but she's cursed the elevator. So when they just about get to the 12th floor, the elevator will fall down the shaft and kill the ghosts. I don't know. I don't quite understand. But, Kirsten Dunst convinces Abigail that no, you love your sister. And your sister loves you, and true love breaks the curse, and the day is saved.
Wasn't it that the party at the Tip Top Club was actually a surprise birthday party for Abigail the witch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So this warms her frozen heart, and the curse is lifted,
and the sisters bond back together.
Here's the funny thing. She didn't know
weird.
It was going to be a surprise birthday party.
Yeah.
For herself. So, she killed 6 people on their way to the party. Yeah. But, okay, so all the ghosts get to the top floor, and they ask Steve Guttenberg and the gang, hey, you want to come up with us? And Guttenberg goes, nah, we'll take the stairs. And I thought, oh, okay, they're just going to leave at this point. They're not going to actually believe that there's a Nope, they took the stairs all the way up, and there's a party, which I don't understand, because, they're all ghosts, but, these people didn't die. They went on and lived full lives, but their spirits are still having this party every Halloween. And, Sally sees her parents, so she runs off to them. And then they just disappear in a blue light. And then Jan, who is a singer, she gets to sing her song. And her and the actor, the actor who's been trapped with them proposes to her. And then they disappear in blue light. And the nanny disappears in blue light. And then the whole party disappears. And then Abigail, as a child now, she's transformed into a child. She's not the old lady. She literally shows up late. Everyone's gone. The party's in ruins. And she's like, did I miss my party again? With no irony, with no sadness. She's just like, am I late? Yes, you are late. But then Sally comes back out of nowhere. And then they're like, oh, we're sisters and we love each other again. Thanks for helping us. And once again, they disappear into blue light.
It's kind of touching when you say it that way.
It's just like, what? I think this movie would have been much more fun if early on Guttenberg mentions that he's got a great story about this chemical plant and they're leaking chemicals and stuff. And if the whole thing was just the chemical plant setting him up to go insane, and that there weren't real ghosts and everything, and that could have been a fun film. It would have been a Disney film, but it would have been a fun film.
Just wrap it up, Winnie. We're all bored.
Yeah, no, this is only for the hardcore Disney fans.
Yeah.
Which is why Mason has seen it.
I have.
And has a soft spot for it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I have a very soft spot for Mason's film.
Which is, of course,
Hitchhikers?
the Country Bears. We'll talk about Hitchhikers later.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, fun. Yay. No, we're not. I'll spare everyone, probably.
No. Let's plug it, man.
Let's plug it. But anyway, yes. So I have never seen the Country Bears.
The Country Bears.
Of course.
Have you really lived then?
Of course, this film is based on the Country Bear Jamboree. Which,
and what a jamboree it was.
What a jamboree it was. It jamboreed right out of Disneyland Park entirely and was replaced by
I've been
Winnie
to the
Pooh
Florida
ride.
Wine on several occasions, and there's never been a line.
There's never a line. I went there for the first time in years when I was there on my honeymoon at the behest of my wife.
Specifically to Country Bear Jamboree for your honeymoon.
That was it. That was our honeymoon. We just went to the Country Bear Jamboree.
Then you left,
No.
and it was a vacation well spent.
So, yeah, I've never seen... I enjoy the Country Bear Jamboree for what it is, but it's...
Are you talking about the movie or the ride?
The ride first. I'm just going into ride really quick. I've never really liked it that much. Like, when it comes to audio animatronic singing... and I have this or the Tiki Room, I'm picking the Tiki Room.
How dare you?
So I never got around to seeing the movie. So I finally did, and wow. Okay, so to give you a run through of the plot,
Can I ask one question?
Yeah,
How did you watch this movie?
I watched it on a snow day.
No. Did you
was
watch
the
it on a
Gray
VHS
Much
tape,
one.
a DVD?
I watched it online in bed.
Okay,
Whoa.
because I know you own a VHS copy of the Country
I know.
Bears.
I looked everywhere for it. Yeah. So your dad gave me a VHS copy of that film.
Well, okay. So here's the
Mailed
thing.
it to me.
One day in college, he just sent me a care package, and it was full of VHS tapes. One for me, one for Tyler, one for Mason. Mason got the Country Bears. Tyler got Billboard Dad, starring the Olsen twins.
3 Billboard Dads outside Ebbing, Missouri.
And I got No Deposit, starring Don Knotts.
How come you got the good one?
Well, the thing is, they're all my VHS tapes that he just gave
You
away
had
to you
Billboard
guys.
Dad?
So Mason has my copy of the Country Bears, which I adored as a child.
Well, I have no idea where it is.
But did you adore Billboard Dad?
No, I never watched that, but I did have a crush on the Olsen twins.
Both of them at the same time?
Back when they were solving mysteries. No, Mary Kate specifically.
I can't tell the difference, so I'll take your word for it.
So, yeah, to give a breakdown of this plot, you've got a young bear boy named Beary Barrington, because, if we're not going to be creative about the plot, we may as well not be creative about the names.
We should write a movie about character McCharacter.
Yes, Human McHumor. Played by a young Haley Joel Osment.
No, voiced by a young Haley Joel Osment.
Well, yes.
He's not in the suit.
Yeah. Actually, that is one thing I enjoyed. The effects, the practical bear suits were actually pretty cool. I didn't think they were so
they're no
bad.
bear in the big blue house.
That's true. That's true. But anyway, yeah, so he's grown up a huge fan of the Country Bears. And
their jamboree.
And their jamborees. Multiple. Yeah, and they're big stars, and apparently they split up and went their separate ways many years ago during the 70s or 80s or whatever. And this young boy, Beary Barrington, is adopted by a human family, and no one seems to, acknowledge that he's a bear. But he feels different, except for his brother. His brother is the only cognizant one throughout the entire film. And he literally does at no point does anyone actually just say, "You're a bear, Barry." It's never, even that kid, he doesn't say, "Do you realize you're different? Do you realize you're different?" They never just say, "You're a bear."
He asked his parents at the beginning of the film, "Mom, Dad, am I adopted?"
Whoa.
No. Of course not, Barry.
Yeah, so he feels, his brother says basically you don't belong here. So he goes to Country Bear Hall, winds up at Country Bear Hall, and to find out that Saint Walken is in this film.
So good.
It's so good. Do you like the sound of crushing wood? I do.
Oh no, Country Bear
Hall.
I will spare you both and not try and do a Christopher Walken impression.
Thank you. We both thank you.
Can you actually just do one?
Yeah, try it.
So we can see if it sounds like Bullwinkle.
I want anyone say hello to me.
Does he have a country accent?
Why won't anyone say hello to me?
Howdy.
Hello. Anyway.
I told you it would be good.
So, he is a banker guy.
The Animaniacs reference.
I knew I could at least do that.
Why won't I love that show. Go on.
So, anyway, Chris Walken is from the bank, and he's saying that they're overdue on the mortgage or whatever for their, for Country Bear Hall, and it's going to get repossessed or going to foreclose or whatever. And I should know that. I should know this. I'm a financial advisor, but I don't. But he's like, the funny part is the Ted, I think it is, or no, Henry, who watches over the place, was their manager. He's
Ted?
Well, there's one named Ted, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let me look.
I don't know.
We have a fact checker.
Yeah. Ted is the lead vocal and guitar player of the Country Bears.
Ted,
and Fred's the older brother.
Yes. So, anyway, he's like, the old people who used to own the bank let us be late a couple times. Okay. How late are you? 6 years. I'm like, yes. And this was right before the economic downturn. So this really makes sense. The housing crisis was on its way.
That ran our country into the ground.
So anyway, they're behind. They need like $20,000 to raise within 4 days. Haley Joel Osment, Beary Barrington kid bear, shows up and he's like, "Well, we could do it. We gotta get the band back together."
Yeah, I realized this movie is essentially Blues Brothers 2000.
It really
but with
is.
bears.
That's what I was gonna say.
It is. It's even got a little
It
kid.
really is.
Yep.
So they go on a cross-country journey trying to find all
There's
the
no voodoo
members.
witches in Country Bears.
No.
Which is a huge
But-
loss.
But there, well, there's, yeah. So, they get all of them, Ted, Trixie, Tennessee, Fred, and, Zeb Zuber, all with these stupid songs, musical sequences.
I love the music in this movie.
What are you, stupid?
So, and all of these characters are like loosely based on characters from the ride.
Are they?
Yeah, they actually all are. But only like a certain set of them. Like the people that come out like at the very center of the stage during the actual attraction. So, and I get visual cues from it, from the characters specifically. But other than that, it's like zero association with the ride, which like is but at the same time I'm like, it's a concert show. What can you do with it? So
Well,
Right,
that's going to be
yeah.
a running theme through these three movies.
well, yours
Deviating so much from the source material.
yeah. But like but at that, like when
this
the
film is beat
started,
for beat like the Blues Brothers. Like they find a
2000.
band member. Yeah. They find a band member. There's a musical number.
Yes.
They go find another band member.
there's another musical number. Yes.
Aretha
But
Franklin
none of the
shows
songs
up.
are memorable, really, in my opinion.
Well, no, I think you're right because like there's a song in the diner where it's "Kick It Into Gear,"
Yes.
and I didn't remember it until I heard it again, and then like, oh yeah, no, I've had that in my subconscious.
Yeah,
for years.
that one.
That's a very sexy number for a children's film. I
Yeah,
feel.
there's a
Oh
lot of
my.
weird innuendo sort of kind of vibes going on.
I think that number definitely left an impression on Little Winnie.
Aww.
Oh, that sounds worse than it
That
is.
sounds
I
so
mean,
much worse than it
Little
is.
Lachitis.
Oh.
Jessica Rabbit left an impact on my little one.
All right, moving rapidly along. So yeah, they all get back together and they get back to Country Bear Hall.
Country Bat Hall.
So they come to find out that the reason Chris Walken's character is so bent on destroying Country Bear Hall is that he was like the competition that they beat out originally on their first big break at a talent show. And so his whole plan was to go into the banking industry.
But what was
his
Christopher
talent,
Walken's
Mason?
talent, Mason,
Tell
at
us.
the talent show?
Playing the 1812 overture by his armpit. Who
This
did
movie
that?
taught me how to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Was that you?
yeah,
that
that
your
was
arm?
me.
Oh my
I can't
gosh.
confirm it because it's an audio podcast, but
This is true. But I'm not going to smell my hand for the rest of the podcast. I can tell you that much.
Why, you
Okay.
don't use deodorant? That's concerning.
It's been a long day.
Oh. Okay. So anyway.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean my armpit farts
So
to bring
they
the podcast to a dead halt.
So they're defeated, or he's defeated. Like
We're
they escape
defeated.
his clutches.
Everyone's defeated.
I'm defeated. This podcast is defeated.
you want the truth?
The soda machine down the hall is defeated.
They think no one shows up to save the hall, and all of a sudden, it gets revealed that there's a huge crowd of people that showed up, and they save the hall. They have a concert, and little Beary Barrington makes peace with his brother and becomes part of the Country Bears. And that's the movie. And as far as these films go, it's harmless. Like, it's a good film to put on to shut up your kids.
About talking bears.
And, you know, it's well-meaning. It's cute, but...
Can I raise the question here about the world that this film presents?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so at the beginning of the film, you know, Beary is adopted. But the brother shows, here's my birth certificate, and here's yours. And he pulls out a tracking collar and a tracker and says, this is what the ranger used to track you.
What?
So clearly, Beary lived in the woods and was a normal bear.
Maybe it's like
yeah,
the
there are normal bears
and
and
only the musically talented animals can live amongst the people.
No, because there's a bear that works in a car wash in the movie. He has no relevance on the plot, but we see a bear working at a car wash. I'm like,
that should have been the plot of the movie.
Are there two different kinds of bears? Is this goofy Pluto rules? What are the rules?
maybe that's a special kind of bear that comes from darkest Peru.
What are the rules?
This movie confuses me. Are there woods bears and
People
city bears
bears?
and country bears? I don't get what's going on.
That's actually a great idea. Oh my gosh, I think you just hit the nail on the head.
No.
That would be how to make a good country bear movie.
No.
There you
So,
go.
Mace, I have to ask you.
Mhm.
Would you rather sit through this movie again or sit through the Possum Jamboree in the Goofy movie?
Lester's Possum
Lester's
Park?
Possum Park.
I would easily say, because that's even making fun of the Country Bear Jamboree. So, like, if they're making fun of their own stuff, why would you lead with that?
Yes.
Yes. Why would you lead with that? This was the first major motion picture, other than, like, Mission to Mars, and that one's sort of out there. This was the first mainstream one that's based on a Disney attraction
Mr.
that
Toad,
got a wide release. Yeah, no, that's not. That's
It's a Terry
completely
Jones
different.
movie. Fun fact.
Yeah, that's not a Disney.
Huh.
But, yeah, like, why would you lead with this when you had other great properties? Like,
Because Michael Eisner,
doesn't make
that's
sense.
why.
yeah, because Mikey Boy.
Kids love the Bears. I don't really
So
trust
finally-
this pirate
so-
movie.
I think
Singing Bears.
singing bears.
I don't know why he's Christopher Walken. Oh, if they ever do a Michael
Everyone's
Eisner
Christopher
biopic, they have a very elderly Michael Eisner played by Christopher Walken.
Oh,
Just
boy.
making terrible.
I'm gonna be the
corporate decisions.
CEO of Disney. Oh yeah. Anyway, so finally rounding out this strange little epoch, whatever, however you want to pronounce it, of Disney films before, you know. No, actually, then Pirates came out, and that was okay. And then our final film came out, which was...
Oh no.
The Haunted Mansion.
From 2003, starring Eddie Murphy.
Fun fact before we start.
Not-
Oh, please.
I
love
left
fun
school early the day this movie came out.
facts. Oh.
Just to
Like
go
with
to
your
the
parents'
movie
permission?
Yes.
Or you
Yes.
just walked away?
No, with my parents' permission. Like, I left. This was a big deal when this movie came out.
Little Mason just left school and wandered into the theater.
I was 10 years
Mason
old.
never trusted another soul after he left that screen.
Here's the thing. After I left that theater, I actually loved it the first time I watched it. Because I
Oh.
didn't know. But my brain did.
But
There was
Brain
hope
did.
in Little Mason's
And
head that
through the
day.
years, it slowly went, oh no. Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no. And then I went and made my own.
Oh, kind
Yep.
of. It's a
So
fan
yeah,
film.
kind of. So anyway, lead us in, Yanny.
Well, real quick, Mason, just to clarify for our listeners, you're kind of a fan of the Haunted Mansion franchise, maybe?
A little.
Sorta?
The franchise? No, I'm just
The
a fan
ride.
of the
Ride.
Oh yeah, the ride. Yeah,
The
Right.
idea, the
I've
concept,
studied.
if you will.
I've read.
Yeah.
I don't know. Studied is a
Spooky
strong
ghosts,
word,
it's
but
fun.
I've read about it and been, enamored with it all my life. I've been a fan of all the, the big blogs and vlogs and websites, Doom Buggies. There are a lot of great, shows I listen to even now. Offhand, Disneyland's a great one. I think Yesterland does a couple episodes, and there's a bunch of great things. There was a documentary that came out last year, I want to say. I actually had the good fortune of having a small interview in that, where I got to talk about it was basically focusing on the fans of the Haunted Mansion and the different ways we kind of show.
Did that ever come out?
Yeah, it did. It came out like last year. I pre-ordered a copy, but I never got it. So
he embezzled.
But yeah. So if you're listening, dude, please send me my copy. But I saw the clip. It's really cool, and it was a big project to get it done. So it's really.
We're watching you.
Really.
We know who you are.
But yeah, it was a really good documentary, and I got to be on the Doom Buggy Spook Talk show. I'm butchering this, but I even did that Lego Haunted Mansion a couple years back. So yeah, I'm a fan.
Which you can now buy in stores,
No, you can't, but maybe hopefully one day soon.
Oh no, my bad.
I was gonna retry it.
My bad.
All right, so Tyler, tell us about Eddie Murphy's Haunted Mansion.
All right, well, let's start with the opening credits that go on for 5 minutes in this an hour and 28-minute film. So you get some terrible CGI with the opening titles, and in the background you get an Eyes Wide Shut party, which is good for the kids.
But that score, though, that beautiful score.
It's a nice score.
Hey, Tyler, did they film this movie at the actual Disneyland Haunted Mansion?
I don't know. I have no idea. Probably not.
No, they didn't.
They built a thing.
They
For
built
your
a
terrible Eddie Murphy
mansion.
comedy. They built this elaborate mansion. So Eddie Murphy is a real estate agent who doesn't make time for his family.
Oh no!
It's like Ghost Dad.
And one question I had, which I could not figure out: are the husband and wife in the real estate business together?
Yeah.
But why is he the workaholic? Because it seems like they're both like, yeah, let's go sell this mansion. Because she's the one that gets the phone call.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I've never seen this movie. I don't know what to tell you.
They got 2 kids. One kid's a scaredy, and the other kid is a girl.
Is she a tough girl?
I guess
She's pretty tough. She's pretty tough.
She didn't really have like a generic
personality
trait I can riff on, but so anyways, they get a call to go try to look at this mansion because they're interested in selling it. And they're like, ooh, it's on this address. Because he's going to go out for a family vacation. But it's like, 20 minutes. We'll in and out. We'll just look at this house. And then a creepy General Zod greets them at the door. And they're like, I am the butler. Sarah Evans. He's the best part of the movie, by the way. He's great. Would anyone care for some supper?
Are you saying Wallace Shawn doesn't shine as
Ezra?
Ezra?
Well, he's not playing Ezra.
That's according to the Wikipedia.
That's his character's name, but he has no association with the hitchhiking ghost. Don't do that.
What the hey?
Yeah.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
Well, I mean, he looks much more like Phineas than Ezra. I know way too much about Haunted Mansion because of you, Mason.
Yeah, we hate you because of this.
Yeah.
Because I was watching the movie and I'm like, I know what these things are. Damn it. So anyways, let's just get to the stupid plot because it's really generic. Because he's a workaholic who has to learn to make time for his family, blah, blah, blah. Now let's get to the weird part.
Oh, boy.
So the owner of this mansion, who's apparently a ghost.
Master Gracie.
Yeah, there's this dark plot about how the Master Bateman's wife hung herself before they were to be wed. But the butler, set it all up. And Eddie Murphy's wife kind of looks like his lover. So he thinks he can turn Eddie Murphy's wife into his old wife to be.
Yeah, apparently they think she's...
Isn't that sound like a fun Haunted Mansion family film? They just want to gather the kids opening weekend.
Go see Eddie Murphy, star of the recent hit Daddy Daycare.
Here's my problem. It takes like 20 to 25 minutes to get to the stupid mansion. Then you got a little bit of Haunted Mansion stuff, and then the end of the movie, which is like another 25 minutes, and then the movie's over because it's under an hour and a half. And the first 5 minutes are credits, and the last 10 minutes are credits. So there's just very little Haunted Mansion going on here.
Do you feel there was a lot left on the cutting room floor? Would you like to see the expanded edition?
I would love to see the director's cut. Where's the Zack Snyder cut of this?
Where's the recobbled cut of the Haunted Mansion?
Garrett Gilchrist, fix this movie. Find the scenes. Save the edit. Save the dream.
Zack Snyder will now take on the powers of the Haunted Mansion. Oh, that's when you...
All right, well, that's my review of the Haunted Mansion.
So, what in all did you think of it, though?
All right, let's get to the terrible stuff. There's a bunch
please
of
break
references.
it down for us.
There's a bunch of quick one-liner references to better movies that I'm not sure who they are. Eddie Murphy at one point says, "There's something you don't see every day," because I'm like, okay, that's Ghostbusters. The kid makes a Sixth Sense reference.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one. There's a Young Frankenstein one. Because Eddie Murphy goes to the door and he's like, "Look at the knockers," and then they pause for a laugh, and I'm like, "You didn't do it right. You didn't do it right. you hack fraud. You couldn't get that right."
You need a Transylvanian woman there to say, "Oh, yeah. Thank you."
Well, thank you, doctor. All right. What else is terrible? Eddie Murphy's acting. Me and Mason were talking about this on the phone the other day. He's like, his wife of many, many years, who he's had 2 children with, has died. He's like, "Oh no, Sarah, no. Hey."
You said it was like
like
trying to wake up your dog.
Yeah, like
Come on,
your dog
buddy,
sleeping,
get up,
like
get up,
fall
buddy.
asleep on your lap, and you're trying to gently wake it up so you can move again. It's like, "Oh, come on, kitty. Come on, don't sit there."
You named
kitty.
your dog Kitty?
Oh no, Sarah, no, don't die. Come on, man. Don't do this.
Come on, Sarah, I love you. I love you, Sarah. That's
It's
literally what it
Don't do this to me.
It's so bad.
I remember when this movie came out, like they really advertised the crap out of those singing heads.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
in
the
one
singing
scene,
busts.
and then for whatever reason, they strap them to their car to go on a road
We'll
trip.
keep it
for no
down.
reason.
Oh, yes, we will.
Even though they
We'll
have no
keep it
connection to
down.
them.
Yeah, and like they're not even that big a part of the ride, from what I can remember.
No.
Yeah,
They got the Dapper Dans.
that's cool.
Dapper Dan?
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
I'm Dapper Dan.
Oh.
Who are you calling Pinhead? So let's talk about how wrong Madame Leotie is. Jennifer Tilly is a fine comedic actress, but she should not be that role.
No, yeah. Well, we were talking, you and I were talking, and I mean, the original Madame Leota was, her face was played by Leota Toombs, of course, who was an Imagineer, but her voice was Eleanor Audley, which was Lady Tremaine and Maleficent in the original animated pictures.
It's great.
Oh, okay.
Iconic voice there, and even in this role as well, iconic. So who do you get? You get
Jennifer Tilly.
Celia Wheelia from Monsters Inc. and other things I know.
Did you know I did some research on her in preparation for this? She's big into poker.
Wow. That's a fact I'm storing away.
Right?
She's
There you go.
what?
Remember that
That's
one.
why you listen to this podcast. We have many interesting tidbits.
Yeah.
She likes poker.
Oh, poker. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, so Madam...
What? You just heard that in passing?
That's
Yeah.
public knowledge, Winnie. Everyone knows it. Except you.
Who even is Jennifer Tilly? Like, why would she's Tiffany in the Chucky films?
She's in Liar Liar, I think.
Yep.
She's on Family Guy. She's Patrick Warburton's wife.
Why
Sure
would
is.
you?
But yeah.
So they should have got Angelina Jolie to do the voice.
No,
right?
they should have gotten Helena Bonham Carter.
Ew.
But Angelina Jolie played Maleficent.
Well, actually, that's not a bad point.
And Kate Blanchett was Lady Tremaine.
Oh, she would be a great Madame Leota.
Oh my gosh, what have they done?
I want that. I want
Cinderella
that. And Tom Hiddleston as Master Gracie. Very good.
The Master Bateman. Yes.
Stop it. They should have got what's-her-face. They should have got Eartha Kitt.
Oh,
that actually would have been good, too. But
that would have been good.
Because I think she could have been the face and the voice.
She's dead now, though, so...
Well,
but she wasn't dead in 2003.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Don Knotts was supposed to have a role.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Was he?
Yes, he was supposed to be...
Like
he was supposed to be the caretaker that you see in the graveyard in the ride. He was supposed to have a very large role, and he didn't. They wrote that character out. Apparently there was an original draft of this film that was a lot more true to the ride and true to everything about it. Like the hitchhikers had a larger role, not just a one-off gag that had a couple lines, and Ezra didn't even talk, and oh Lord. Anyway.
Plus, I mean, Wallace Shawn is perfect for Phineas. They should have had him just do that.
I mean, yeah, actually that's not a bad point. And they had Deep Roy playing Gus. So Deep Toot.
Yeah, I always thought his name was Deep Throat, but no, that's the guy with the Watergate tapes.
No, that is it?
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it was a guy in the porno Deep Throats.
No. I knew you were going to go that way.
I'm not being funny. I thought that was it. And I've sat through all the President's Men, and it was bored, but it was good filmmaking. I was so bored.
Anyway, so yeah,
I would have loved to see a Don Knotts Eddie Murphy buddy comedy.
Yeah, so apparently,
don't go in that mansion.
Like, genuinely, like if you
don't
look
tell
at
me what to do,
if you
Don.
look at the caretaker animatronic, it looks like Don Knotts. It would have been amazing, but
very
no.
Cool.
The caretaker actually made it into the film just as a ghost, another ghost that was just.
Knotts?
No, it wasn't Don Knotts. It wasn't anybody, but it
was
just
it Kim Conway.
Now I will.
How could it not be anybody?
I don't know. It was just some extra. The cool thing was what's his face? The makeup guy, the famous makeup guy, Rick Baker, I think was his name.
Sure.
I have a
Eddie
book here.
Baker?
Yeah, I was going to say the guy who played R2-D2.
No,
Rick
Baker. Hold
no,
on,
that's Ricky Baker. Sorry,
Ricky Baker.
I'm getting my
Ricky
books.
Baker.
Actually, in the original copy, like I have one of these books here. It's a really good book by Jason Searle, The Haunted Mansion Imagineering a Classic. In the first edition, there's like a huge chapter on the movie because it came out at the same time. And then I got an updated version, and I don't even know if there's a page on the movie.
I'm sure they got rid of it.
It's actually friggin' hilarious.
There is all evidence of that.
Yeah. I don't even know where. Oh my goodness, I can't even find it. Anyway, I think it was Rick Baker. He did
Rick Baker.
He did all the makeup. Very famous makeup effects artist. I think he did Thriller, and he did all of the skeletal stuff, but he has a cameo.
He did The Fly, I think, too.
Yeah.
I got the Jeff Goldblum makeup.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. St. Jeff. And he actually has a cameo in the film as what's believed to be the ghost host. And there's a ton of great references in this film. It's just references, though. It's like the Ready Player One of the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, so you admit that's a terrible concept.
I'm open to it still.
Well, that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah.
So that's the Haunted Mansion, and it sucks. We'll just cut it.
Okay.
Cut it there.
Yeah.
I really don't have much to say. It's barely a Haunted Mansion film. Some of this Haunted Mansion stuff is cool. I will say one thing real quick to end. The ghost effects in the new Ghostbusters from like 2 years ago is on par with the ghost effects in the 2003 Haunted Mansion. And that's just
which are actually like for
what is that saying?
For 2003, that was pretty impressive.
No, it looks great in 2003 and 2016. That's not much.
Yeah, a lot more attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
They had to like take 4 passes of the same character to get like a composite shot.
The effects are tricky, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you think won, lost, and got away with it? I think I lost, maybe?
I definitely got away with it here.
Okay. I won.
You did?
I didn't hate it too much. It's a crappy movie, but it's, it exists.
I think it might actually be better than Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeah, I would say that.
It's a fun, bad movie.
Yeah, it certainly is. So I put it to you, my friends, now. If you were to make a film based on a Disney attraction, what would it be and what would it entail? Ooh. We are upon the pitching mount. Yaney, go.
Oh, I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, well, I've been thinking about Tower of Terror and how to make that movie better. And I think it's just got to be kind of like what the Goosebumps movie was from a couple years ago. That was actually surprisingly well received with Jack Black, but with the Twilight Zone.
Okay. How so?
Because the Twilight Zone movie only sporadically works from 1983 because they just tried to make like 4 different segments to varying success. So I'm just thinking, like, maybe don't do what they did in Goosebumps where like Jack Black is what is it, R.L. Stein?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. I don't think anyone should be Rod Serling, but I think there should be like a like the Hollywood hotel or whatever. Like when you go in and you see all those like Twilight Zone artifacts, like you see like Talkie Tina and like the ventriloquist dummy from that other episode and like the genie lamp or whatever. Just have all those things there, and then at a certain time, like those things start to come to life in the tower.
Okay.
And that's as far as I got with my pitch, but I just really want a good Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah. I always thought it'd be cool is, you know, I have like my idea of pitching it or like having a series of like Netflix kind of series based on these attractions and then kind of world building together. I thought it'd be cool if you did sort of a Stranger Things styled thing around Tower of Terror.
Interesting.
Well, if you kind of got that like upside down, if you kind of made the upside down sort of like the Twilight Zone, I don't know.
But we'll go to the bottom floor.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll call it the bottom floor.
The upside floor.
The rec room.
The Tip Top Club.
All right, Winifred, I guess. You go.
You guys sprung this on me right before we started recording. So
you've had an hour to think about it.
Yeah, but I've been talking. I can't think.
Well, they've been talking for a third of it.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with a lot of Disney rights that aren't already based on properties.
Yeah, this was hard for me. I just really like the Twilight Zone.
If you could,
I don't know exactly how to make a Soarin' movie.
Make a People Mover movie.
People Move.
Big Thunder Mountain, the movie. I think it'd be fun to do a Star Tours movie.
I believe that's part of the franchise. Like R2-D2 and C-3PO start up their own like touring company.
Yeah, do that as
with
a
like
Netflix
a Pee Wee
series.
Herman
Have Jon
robot.
Favreau direct that.
Yes.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, like I'm going through rides and like nothing's striking me as that could be a movie. That could be a movie.
That's more of a Mason thing.
See, that's what I do. That's all I do.
Haley said they could make. How am I
supposed to make a movie off a Triceratops spin? Tell me that.
Is that a ride?
It shouldn't even be there though. That thing. This place should be erased. Anyway.
I'll tell you what. I'll make a weird
reference.
CGI movie on the ride Dinosaur.
Oh.
Stop it.
Oh, Mason, correct me if I'm wrong. Because when I wrote that a couple of years ago, was that already a ride before that terrible movie came out? And then they just stuck dinosaurs from that movie in it because it really, really looked like that.
I don't know because they were both going on at the same time. The shame of it was that I guess Eisner wanted to cross promote it.
That Eisner,
yeah,
man,
I think the movie, like they were synonymous, like they were at the same time. I think because
how about Norway Pavilion? I could make a movie off of that.
Okay.
Well, now it's Frozen. So
well, he can make a
perfect.
sequel.
There we go. I'd make Frozen. My life's over.
Make Frozen 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Haley wanted to make a Carousel of Progress movie, but it would just have one song over and over again.
Yeah, I actually want to go through that now. So we actually put it to you, our listeners, and we got some pretty cool results. I went through it to get as many as I could. If I missed any, I certainly apologize. And if I mispronounce any names, I'm sorry. Even though like only 2 people I don't know submitted ideas.
I was going to say, one was your wife, one was Tyler's girlfriend, the other was Chad.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I can't find Chad. Chad, I'm sorry. I know you're listening. I can't find yours right now, so I'm so sorry.
Chad got screwed again.
Chad, I'm so sorry.
We made this podcast exclusively to screw over Chad.
You think you're a fan? We'll show you.
Chad's turning into the Matt Damon of our show.
He really is.
But, yeah, so we got one from our friend Danae Sams. I think hers was a joke, though, because she said Expedition Everest because I want Disney to do with the Yeti what they did with Blackbeard and Davy Jones. I didn't understand if that was sarcasm or not, but he looks like more of a disco person than playing the organ. Anyway.
What?
Then, yes.
Well, good news, Channing Tatum's making that Yeti movie.
Yes, so there you go.
Is it a Yeti movie?
You could, I think you could, yeah. I think you can
Yeti
turn
Player One?
Expedition Everest
Bam.
into
Good joke.
a good monster movie. I think you could turn it into a good monster movie, but it would take some finagling. My darling wife.
I love your Jewish Hollywood terms.
Wait, Mason, I thought we were doing a shout out, not reading every single one.
There were only a few, so I'm shouting them out.
We have so little listeners that our shout outs are literally just reading every single comment.
So, my darling wife came up with an awesome idea.
So just sarcastic. My darling wife thought she'd chip in.
My wonderful wife.
She said Captain EO, which is actually an old 80s attraction from original Epcot.
That's the Finding Nemo ride.
No. What? No.
Didn't it become the Finding Nemo submarine ride?
No, that's Captain Nemo, you... Oh my gosh. Captain EO is a musical space adventure with Michael Jackson. So...
What?
Yeah. So Captain EO...
I'd like to see the Honey, We Shrunk the Kids movie.
That's the theater where it used to show. Yes, then Haley said... Carousel of Progress, the time-traveling musical with just one song that you'll sing for the rest of the month. Alexis Bishop said Maelstrom, a troll movie, would have been awesome. Ryan Kiernan, Tower of Terror, so it can be a Disney IP and they won't close it or change it, which is a concern, I know, because since Twilight Zone is a non-Disney IP.
I think Paramount owns it.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's a concern.
I think we just gotta make this Tower of Terror movie a cult classic. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, seriously.
Like Szechuan sauce. It'll be great.
And then I think the last one here. Oh, actually, I have a couple more. Jolyn McCorkle. If I'm saying your name wrong, I'm so sorry. The Matterhorn bobsleds at Disneyland. There must be some great story about a real Matterhorn mountain. The climbers that used to always be seen on the old Skyway that used to go through it, and of course the old basketball hoop at the top of the mountain that's actually in the ride, not the literal mountain. So that's an interesting idea. Got Andy Mallory said Rock and Roller Coaster. Carrie Martin said the Grand Floridian Hotel. I don't know how you turn a literal hotel into a movie.
Maybe he just said he wanted to film there.
Some of these comments are just sarcastic trolls.
I don't know. But then Tyler Montague said maybe a TV series for Splash Mountain. Mostly because people love the ride, but most of them never even heard or seen Song of the South. Reboot it into something more acceptable for the
politically correct Uncle Remus stories. I'm down.
I don't think that's actually a terrible idea. If you wanted to,
we would just talk like a very educated black man. We should get the Reading Rainbow guy to be Uncle Remus.
Actually, that would be really cool.
LeVar Burton, if you're listening.
LeVar Burton, that's it. So those were all the ideas. Those were all the ideas. Those are all pretty great. I'd love to see all of them.
Very cool.
But first, Guillermo del Toro got his Oscar. Now he needs to get his act together and get putting together that Haunted Mansion.
Okay, so he just won an Oscar and now he needs to get his act together.
Yes.
Yeah. Now he needs to go work for Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
okay.
right. Well, speaking of which, the new Pacific Rim, is he attached to the new Pacific Rim at all?
No, they cut him out.
I think he produced, though. He helped produce or like co-produce. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Moving on.
Anyway, we've had some terrible movies in our mouth tonight, and it's time we wash them out with some palate cleansers. So, guys, what have you been watching that's been good? Anyone?
Silence.
I've heard
I can give you mine.
Yeah? Go for it.
I want to recommend a 1980 film called Hopscotch.
Oh, no, yeah, with Walter Matthau.
Yeah, and Ned Beatty. It's a very dry comedy, but I absolutely love it.
I love dry things.
Basically, Walter Matthau is a spy, and Ned Beatty is his boss, and Ned Beatty threatens to put him behind a desk till he retires. So Walter Matthau decides to run all around the globe writing a tell-all book about Ned Beatty.
That sounds great.
It's very like... I think this is after Nixon and everything that happened with that. So this is kind of like a revenge movie. Like, oh, we're going to expose a dirty politician. But it's really funny. Walter Matthau is amazing in this. I didn't think I could buy him as like a spy, since he's kind of, he's older in this.
Have you just seen him as Mr. Wilson?
He's literally the definition of the word frumpy. He just I see frumpy, I hear frumpy, and I see Walter Matthau.
No, that's absolutely true. But yeah, this is a great movie. It's on the Criterion Collection. That's how I watched it. I highly recommend it.
When is the Criterion sale typically? It's in July.
July and November.
Okay, all right. So I still got some time. I want to get Rebecca.
And they do random flash sales where, like, for 12 hours you can get stuff for 50% off or something.
Okay, cool.
All right, Tyler, how about you?
I'm in the midst of watching that documentary I talked about from last episode, because look, continuity. Called Persistence of Vision. I watched through the 1992 work print today, and I loved it. And
is it better or worse than the recobbled cut, would
different.
You say?
It's worse quality, but I think that's the most purest form of what he was trying to go for. But if you want to watch a more complete version of that, I mean, stick with the recobbled, but I'm just happy to have it on home video. Yeah,
that is really cool.
But the documentary is great. It's just kind of going through how he started his studio and how the whole Thief and the Cobbler thing started and how it got to that place with Miramax. So, highly recommend it. $25. Kevin,
I definitely want to check it out.
Yes, I can let you all borrow it if you feel like being cheapskates. I don't mind.
How about you come on over and we can watch it.
I'm working on that, Mace. I am. Winnie should come too. It'll be fun. Yeah. We'll go to Jersey.
There's no better place on Earth.
No, the happiest place on Earth.
No place.
We'll play my favorite game called "Don't Pump Your Own Gas" and try not to get stabbed.
All right, Mace, what have you been watching?
I haven't been watching too much. I did go to the movies to see Game of Night.
It's so good, dude.
I highly suggest it. Yes. It is a fun, good comedy film. One of the rare comedy films out there.
Would you say it's one of the best studio comedies in a long good while?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It's not one of the it's not just a stoner flick or whatever those comedies are nowadays.
A bunch of sex jokes. It's visual comedy.
Yeah. Yes, it's visual comedy. It's just very multifaceted. Got a great cast. A lot of twists I didn't see coming. It's very engaging. I strongly suggest going to see that. And I think 2 Sundays ago, I did a great, wonderful binge watch of all 3 Back to the Future movies. Yaney did it as well, I think. It was just fantastic going through all of them. It's a grind getting through all of them at once, but it's so worth it.
Disagree.
The whole experience. It gets to a grind once you get to part 3. You're like,
I guess they all are. They're like poetry. They kind of rhyme.
Yeah, sort of. No, honestly,
sure, that reference works there.
The building story building throughout the whole series is great. You notice some little bits of like continuity problems, like in the very first movie, right before the Libyans show up. Doc says, "I get to know who wins the next 30 World Series," and yet in the next film he's saying, "No, I made this time machine to learn and not to gamble."
Doc's grown. I'd say the biggest continuity issue is Crispin Glover just kind of disappears for the next 2 films.
I think they do a good job of hiding him, though.
Oh, no, that's true.
They put him upside down. They're not hiding him.
Well,
one of my
you're right.
Aesthetic noses and chins.
He like falls on the
no one can
golf
recognize
course.
any actor when they're upside down.
You know
You're
me.
right. Well,
you know me.
and I love that one guy. I think he took his wallet.
That wallet. No, I wanted to mention that the wallet guy is the unsung hero of Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh
like he only got
God,
one line
absolutely.
and he's milking it for all he's worth.
He actually only had one line in the script, but he just ran with it.
I think he stole his wallet.
He took your wallet. I think he took his wallet.
Somebody do something.
Wallet guy, if you're out there, we salute you, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
so that brings us to the end of this episode of Artificial Entertainment. As for the next episode, it's my turn, and I don't know. I don't know what to do. Question, going off of game night, would you guys like to talk about the culture of mainstream
I
comedies?
would love
over
to.
the past
I've been thinking about
decade or
that since
so?
I saw Game Night, actually.
Sure.
So I haven't seen Game Night, but to the listeners, if you want to, I'll go see Game Night. We'll be able to talk about that a bit and just talk about how mainstream comedies have been lacking in the past 10 or 15 years or so.
Are you telling me we're just having a discussion episode?
What could possibly go wrong?
I think
boy.
so. I'd like to see if we can do an hour of conversation and make it interesting.
Okay,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. And if you guys have any questions for us or want to tell us what you think of the show, you can tweet at us at artificialpod, or you can email us at artificialpod@gmail.com. And, give the show a review if you listen on iTunes or any of the other podcast apps that I cannot remember the names of. That means a lot to us. We would love to hear what you think. No, we aren't on Spotify. I can't figure out how to get us on
we're not on
Mason,
Spotify. I meant,
you silly ninny.
darn it.
Stitcher, that's another one. Leave a
we are
comment
on Stitcher.
on our YouTube or
SoundCloud.
Facebook. If you want to get in contact with us personally, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Josh_Lakaitis. Mace, where can they find you?
You can find me at good old Price on Twitter and Instagram and other things on Letterboxd, and at Mason Betterly on Facebook.
Tyler, where can they find you?
Struggling to pay alimony? I don't know.
Perfect. There we go. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next episode.
Guys, important, really quick. I got a text.
What?
It's Walt. He is at
How's he
7-Eleven.
texting with no arm?
I don't know. How
can you use that tongue?
So I got a text. We got to pick him up.
Does he need a ride? Does he need money?
Yeah, he doesn't know
what's
how
he
to
doing?
work Uber. He doesn't know how to work Uber, and he's apparently...
But he can text. And he doesn't know how to use the Uber app.
I don't know. Come on, let's go. We got to pick him up.
You know what? It's not such a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Poor guy.